What was that soup you made for supper last night?
Oh, that's a traditional Ferelden lamb and pea stew. Do you like it?
Oh, so it was lamb then. It had a certain texture I don't normally associate with lamb.
They didn't make lamb and pea stew for you in Lothering?
We ate simply there. Whole grains made into biscuits or bread, and vegetables from the garden, cooked lightly. No heavy stews.
Ah, so the last lamb you had was probably cooked Orlesian style. Food shouldn't be frilly and pretentious like that. Now, here in Ferelden, we do things right. We take our ingredients, throw them in the largest pot we can find, and cook them for as long as possible until everything is a uniform grey colour. As soon as it looks completely bland and unappetizing, that's when I know it's done.
You're having me on.
Ha! You need to eat in more Ferelden inns.
You were the Grey Warden who broke the curse! I demand to know what happened to the werewolves. Where did they go? You did? And somehow, I believe you. That you took action against those murderers speaks well of you. Take this token. It was crafted long ago by a great master. Now I will go into the forest and hunt. Perhaps there are others still to be found, stragglers. I can only hope.
I'm wondering, Morgan, do you believe in the Maker?
Certainly not. I've no primitive fear of the moon, such that I must place my faith in tales so that I may sleep at night.
But this can't all be an accident. Spirits, magic, all these wondrous things around us, both dark and light. You know these things exist.
The fact of their existence does not presuppose an intelligent design by some absentee father figure.
So it is all random then. A happy coincidence that we are all here.
Attempting to impose order over chaos is futile. Nature is, by its very nature, chaotic.
I don't believe that. I believe we have a purpose. All of us.
Yours, apparently, being to bother me. I imagine you have already composed a suitable ballad to commemorate the events at Redcliffe, Leliana.
Why would I do such a thing?
You have taken up your instruments once again, have you not? So to speak, a bard takes events of great import and puts them to tale.
What happened at Redcliffe was horrible. So many people died, and they were violated by unimaginable evil forces.
That was not so difficult, was it? You may wish to add music, however.
You make it sound as if you enjoyed what happened there. I can barely stomach to think of it.
But we were successful in the end. Victory without cost has little worth.
I just think of what that poor little boy went through. No, I don't want to glorify what happened there.
Then who will learn from these events? I would think on it some more, were I you.
They say you were the one who helped the Circle. I'd kiss your feet if I didn't think you'd kill me. I'm Godwyn, Mage of the Circle. Likewise, I shan't take up more of your time. I'm sure you've better things to do. And I'd like some rest after my ordeal, so well met, and perhaps we'll speak later. Ah, hello again. Would you like me to tell you again how wonderful you are? Or maybe you'd just like to talk a little? Well, mages need lyrium for spells and things. Nothing you'd know about. I suppose you did at that. Well, yes, but you see, the Templars use lyrium too. They cannot manipulate natural energies like mages can, but they need to be able to fight us. The big problem with lyrium is that it has diminishing returns, and the Templars become dependent on it.
You're taking advantage of the Templars, encouraging them. And for money, you despicable, profiteering crook!
If it wasn't me and Rogek, someone else would do it. They go sort of funny. In the head, I mean. They see things that aren't there, or have trouble holding on to a thought. It's not all of them, though. Some are worse than others. One of the fellows here has it pretty bad. Carol, I think. I see. And what do you think you'll do about it? You can't do that. Gregor doesn't have time for trivialities. He's a busy man. Very busy. Oh, you'll do what you'll do, won't you? So just leave me alone.
The circle is amazing. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Thank you. I didn't expect the band's men to notice my escape so quickly. I tried to hide here in the woods, but there wasn't time. And now I'm a dead man. You were there in Ostagar. You know how things went. For me, it was either this, or die in some darkspawn's belly, or be hung as a deserter. You were there with the Grey Wardens, one of Duncan's new recruits. I was to guard the king. He was my friend, understand? Maker, all that time in Ban Loren's prison, and I couldn't stop thinking about all they suffered that one dark night at Ostagar. I know, even had Logain's men not turned their backs on us, the Darkspawn were too many. Even Cailan, for all his bravado, knew there would be no victory at Ostagar. The king entrusted me with the key to the royal arms chest. If anything were to happen to him, he said, it was vital I deliver it to the Wardens. The Maker has a sense of humour, doesn't he? I suppose it's for the best, however. Had I kept it, it would be in Ban Loren's hands by now.
Why am I not surprised? Is there someone else we should be bringing back from the brink of death instead?
I was afraid. I thought I would lose it on the battlefield, so I stashed it in the camp. Please, it's probably still there. The key's behind a loose stone at the base of a statue. I'll draw a map for you, so you'll know where to search.
You'll be taking me along, won't you? And win as well, I suspect. Call me sentimental, but we left behind some darkspawn that really deserve a drubbing.
It is vital that the king's documents do not fall into the wrong hands. As for Marik's sword, it is too powerful to be pawed at by those monsters. Same for the king's other arms and armor. And if you happen to find Cailan's body, see it off. He was our king. He shouldn't be left to rot amidst the Darkspawn's filth.
Got to hand it to the Darkspawn. They sure know how to make a place feel desolate and foreboding. I don't know whether to laugh or cry, but it's clearly Cailan's. There can be no doubt.
So, you and Alistair? You and Alistair, together, looking contented. You even have a glow about you. So shameless. So, How is Alistair? You know what I mean. Alistair and you, those long nights. He must be quite delightful. You wouldn't be so happy otherwise, I think. He's athletic. That's always nice. He is also good at following instructions, isn't he? Ooh, fascinating. The little Templar is all grown up and apparently he plays well with others.
What are you giggling about? What is she giggling about? My performance? What performance? And why does it warrant giggling?
We're just talking about how you treat her in bed. Nothing you should concern yourself with.
How I... Oh, Maker, what is wrong with you women? Judging by these documents, it's a pity we hadn't placed more trust in Orlais and less in the king's own father-in-law.
Blades like that inspire songs that last the ages. You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's chosen. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her. Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of.
Forgive us, my king. Once we flushed the Darkspawn from their holes and bought ourselves some time, we'll be back to see you to the Maker. Down the hole and into the deep. I don't even want to imagine where that leads. There. That is the last of them. I only pray we can carry them as valiantly as he. Oh, they left him here to rot. We need to do something. He was a good man who hoped too much and died too young. He deserves what little honor we can afford to grant him.
I am led to understand that the Canary have their own mages as well. Is this so?
You would not understand.
Not understand? Is it mental capacity that you believe I lack? Or are you worried I will sympathize with my so-called brethren?
Take your pick.
Is that supposed to make me angry?
It means I find myself wishing that your people held proper, civilized attitudes towards magic.
That is a rather hostile thing to say.
And yet you continue speaking. Astonishing.
This deal was all their making, Warden. Technically, I haven't done anything wrong. We have no business. Unless you want to make a few coins. Not that I'm suggesting anything. But you're holding the prize now. I have a collector in mind. Who actually sells the item doesn't matter. It's your call. As always, I let people make their own decisions. Yes, well, I'll keep my nose clean until you're long gone. How about that? I'm just a businessman. I merely exploit opportunities. I won't get in your way.
So, you met this sibling of yours?
Half-sister, but yes.
And you made a promise to help her?
Yes.
Why would you do such a thing? This woman is a parasite who will appreciate nothing you do. You know this.
It's moments like this when I truly appreciate the difference between you and me.
It is moments like this when I truly wonder at the difference between you and a toadstool.
You found it. Warden, you have my gratitude. You're a bright spot in an otherwise dark time.
I started to worry. I didn't know if you were ever coming back. Did you find any records? Any sign of the old Orton Tig? You found them? Let me see. That's my great-grandmother's name. And her husband. Oh, great ancestors, it's them! It's me! I am an Orton. Oh, thank you. I have to take these to the assembly right away. Find me there. Once these are acknowledged, I'll give you any reward. I've been hoping you'd return to Orzammar. Oh, I have so much to tell you. The other houses repaid their debts to my house, and I had enough money to send an expedition into our old Tig. We found so many things. I kept some for you. I said I'd repay you, didn't I? I could never fully repay what you've done for me. But this is a start, I hope. Walk well, and may fortune always smile on you, Grey Warden.
So, are you going to continue staring at me as if I am covered in eels?
Eels would be something.
Prudery. How charming. I expected paranoia. This is much better. I prefer to be stared at lustfully, if at all.
Keep trying, then.
Oh? Then shall I demonstrate an act or two, and you may tell me hot or cold?
I'll save time. Cold.
You are a tease.
This place is
familiar. I am not certain. There is a place, a cavern that is not far from here. I know where it is. I remember. Its offer is appreciated. I will mark the location on its map. If we can journey there soon, I am most curious as to what we will find. This is it. Kadash Taig. I do not know. It is an odd thing to experience. These ruins are always overrun by vermin. There may be something noteworthy further in, however. Was this the home once? Did I live here? I see nothing. Whatever was once here is gone. Crawling with filth. Typical. I am uncertain what I hope to find here. What is this? This I remember. It has dates and names. This is to honor those who volunteered, those who became golems. And there is my name. Shale of House Kadash. I recognize it. I was not created as I am now. I was once a creature of living flesh, a dwarf and a woman. This is a revelation. It is something. It is an answer, though still I wish I had been able to speak with Cailan. I will need to think on these things I have learned. Perhaps I will speak to it of them soon. For now, let us carry on as we have. It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do. I did not think it needed to be said. It has never told me what gender it is, has it? Good for it. I am sure that to other creatures as soft and weak as itself, that would be perfectly obvious. The truth is that whatever gender I was is irrelevant now. I am a golem. I have no gender. It will not become an issue. Ah, yes. Female bonding and all that. Rah. Now, let us crush something soft and watch it fountain blood. That is a girlish thing to want to do, yes? I understand the Swamp Witch is out to slay its own mother.
Entirely in self-defense.
So it claims. It could not have been its plan from the very beginning, then.
I knew nothing about my mother's intentions prior to finding the book. It was your notion I arranged that.
Unnecessary, considering it is the only one who can read the book. It could just as well be a journal or a book of recipes.
Would you like me to teach you how to read the book? Then you can see for yourself.
Now it is testing me.
Well, do you care enough to learn or no?
No, I do not care.
Then leave me be.
So, you're back, I see. What can I do for you? Can what? I'm sorry, I don't know what that...
Where is my sword?
I don't know what you mean, sir. I don't have it, I swear by Andraste's knickers. I sold it on the way here. A dwarf near Redcliffe, Dwyn, I think his name was. He's the one who has the sword, I promise you. Said he was a collector.
We'll see.
strange. I had almost forgotten it. Completion. Are you sure you are a Grey Warden? I think you must be an Ashkari to find a single lost blade in a country at war. My sword is in my hand again. I should put it to use. And I could deliver a much more satisfying answer to the Arishok's question if the Blight were ended. Don't you agree? I am one of the Beresad. I have never abandoned the field with a battle unmet. Yes, it isn't every Grey Warden who has her own Beresad. I will see you reach the Archdemon. Lead the way.
What say you? By all means. Again. Well now, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once. Haha, you have rather macabre tastes, I see. I like that. Let's see, how about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Azrin. Did you hear of that down in these parts? Me? Not personally, but I did take part in the attack. Prince Azrin was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocel from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Azrin once and for all. I was in one of those cells. Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the Crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a Crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part. My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history. It's true. I live a charmed life. One of the prostitutes that raised me was a fortune teller. Said I wouldn't die young. She was rather startled by that. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh? By all means. Well, the only one that's really worth telling is the story of the mission right before I came to Ferelden. But no, I would rather not. I shouldn't have said anything. Thank you. Perhaps another day, huh?
What's on your mind? Cure me? What, am I sick now? Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it. Ah, child. Your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear. People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content. It is enough. I think I've led a good life, a full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the Fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we? I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else. Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority. All he knew of the humans was what he had seen in the alienage. He was very wary of us. What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home. Time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him, too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential, just to be difficult. Oh, I dread to think. I was a harsh taskmistress. He might have thought I was a demon in disguise. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him. Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him. I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Anarin. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student. And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail, I was recruited into the Grey Wardens.
And if you had not been recruited, what would have happened instead?
I would have turned into a drooling lunatic, slaughtered the Grand Cleric, and run through the streets of Denerim in my small clothes, I guess.
Your self-awareness does you credit.
I thought you'd like that.
Andera Natishan, Grey Warden. Join us at the fire if you like, but Haven't you got a war to get to?
I appreciate you trying to find him, but what are the chances?
Anaren the healer?
You know Anaren?
He lives? No, it can't be him. Perhaps it is a common elven name.
No, I know of only one Anaren.
Ah, it makes sense. Anaren said that he was from the human cities. You are old friends, then?
If you seek Anaren, you must venture into the forest. He prefers to be amidst the trees and the animals.
Thank you all so much.
I know a few tales. Our clan has passed this way many times before, even when the Shemlin lived in these parts. You wish? I can tell you what I know. It is not a long story. Our legends say that before the Shemlin came, the Brazilian forest was a place of our ancestors that predated even our oldest homeland. The people of the Imperium came here and gave the forest its name. If they found traces of our ancestors, we cannot say. If they did, those elves were slain or enslaved. We know only that a great many battles were fought here. These trees grow upon the graves of those who fell, Shemlin and elves both. So much death in one place tore the veil into the beyond. The Shemlin know the beyond as the Fade, the place of dreams and spirits. When the veil is torn, spirits pass into our world freely. The legends say that one great spirit possessed the wolf that became Witherfang, who passed its curse of rage onto men and created werewolves. The forest is said to be haunted. Spirits possess the trees, the wolves, even the bodies of the dead. They yearn for true life, you see. Who can say what value the Imperium placed on this land? And how many elves died here, in slavery? Even the barbarians, who came to overthrow the Imperium, fought and died on this soil. One last warning. The forest is like a thing alive. It changes as it wills, closing paths behind you and opening up new ones. Too many have become lost within, unable to find their way out. Were I you, I would endeavor not to make the forest my enemy.
Friends, turn back, please. These woods are a danger to those who do not know the paths.
Anaren?
Wait, I remember your face. But younger, more impulsive, stern. Wynn?
I thought they had killed you.
They very nearly did. The Templars found me while I was searching for the Dalish. They ran me through and left me for dead.
I brought this on you. Oh, I was a dreadful mentor, harsh and impatient. I am sorry for the way I treated you.
I've put that behind me, and you should too. I didn't fit in with the Templars and your chantry. My path lay elsewhere.
Irving is a reasonable man. He will find some way for you to return. The Circle needs new blood. It needs to change.
I have fond memories of Irving. He was always kind to me. I will consider your proposal, and perhaps I will speak with Irving. However, I promise nothing. Now, it is getting late and you have much to do. You should be on your way. Likewise, my years in the Circle were not a complete waste. I learned more than I let on. You did teach me, Wynn, even if you didn't know it. Look at this. It's the hardened sap of a tree native to this forest. It's been something of a lucky charm for me, and now I want you to have it.
Very well. I'm grateful. May your gods smile on you, Anaren.
And on you. Welcome back. Is there something I can do for you? I did for some years. The tribe made me feel very welcome, as though I were a lost child. They taught me elven magics and told me the old stories.
But I wasn't one of the Dalish, no more than I was a circle mage. I owe them much, and so I stay close by, but I do not count myself among their number. My home is out here in the forest with the trees and animals. I learned to listen to them, and they taught me well. I don't bear grudges. And it was Wynne who showed me that the circle wasn't really where I was supposed to be. She is a good person with a noble heart. She always tries to do what she thinks is best for others. She tried so hard with me, I could tell. Unfortunately, I wasn't listening, and all she knew to do back then was yell more. I forgave her many years ago. It's a shame she carried that guilt for so long. I did for some years. The tribe made me feel very welcome, as though I were a lost child. They taught me elven magics and told me the old stories. But I wasn't one of the Dalish, no more than I was a circle mage. I owe them much, and so I stay close by, but I do not count myself among their number. My home is out here in the forest with the trees and animals. I learned to listen to them, and they taught me well. Yes, she mentioned it. It is quite a miracle, isn't it? What happened to Wynne is certainly proof that the gods look favorably upon her. It is not my place to tamper with this. I cannot explain it. Perhaps the spirit felt she had a task to perform. One last apprentice to teach. She is spending her last days in your company, helping you in your quest. Perhaps this is what she feels she needs to do. I did for some years. The tribe made me feel very welcome, as though I were a lost child. They taught me elven magics and told me the old stories. But I wasn't one of the Dalish, no more than I was a circle mage. I owe them much, and so I stay close by, but I do not count myself among their number. My home is out here in the forest with the trees and animals. I learned to listen to them, and they taught me well. Of course. Let me see.
You have a barbed tongue, Morrigan. Why do you treat others in this way?
I owe you no explanation. There is no writing on my forehead that says, "Please, guide me."
You are traveling with these people. It behooves you to be civil.
You were too transparent, old woman. Do not bring up our companions when all you wish is for me to be civil to you. I am not one of your circle apprentices, to hang on your every word. I am not Alistair, who sees in you a surrogate mother.
No, it is obvious you are nothing like Alistair.
Take your lectures elsewhere. They mean nothing to me.
Thank you so much. For leading me to an errand, of course. You led me to an errand. You persisted, even though I was sure all you were going to find was a dead end. I will never be able to repay you for what you've done for me. Finding an errand allowed me to bring that chapter of my life to a close. I feel free. A great weight has been lifted off my heart. This moment, it feels like the moment before the sunrise, when all the world is still, holding its breath, waiting for first light. I can stop thinking about my past and look forward to the future. Thank you, my friend. You will always have my gratitude.
And here we are. Soldier's Peak. Maker's breath. Look at the size of her. What a fortress. I told you the map would get us through the tunnels. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. It came to me in my dreams. When I was a lad, I tried going through the tunnel by myself. Got horribly lost. But every now and again since, I've dreamt of it. I didn't want you to think I was some moon-addled simpleton. I've me wits about me, but enough of that. I'll follow you. from a distance. This place has the stench of death. I expect there's trouble up ahead.
Soldier's Peak. Looks like it's seen better days. Better centuries, more like.
Once the Wardens flourished, their ranks full, their caliber certain. Now they even accept people like you, Alistair.
Hey!
There's more up ahead.
Fall back! Fall back already!
Taking the peak will not be easy, my lord.
I gave the Wardens one chance to die with honor. Instead, they hole up like cowards. We follow the King's advice, then. Starve them out.
But the peak has months of supplies.
Then we wait. When they are too weak to lift their weapons, we will send them to their final judgment.
What was that? Felt a bit woozy there. I'm not mad, am I? You saw it too? How's that possible? This place truly is haunted. The Veil? Demons? Thank Andraste you came, Warden. After you.
The men's morale is low. My spells are of no use in this matter, Commander.
There is more to leading men than sorcery, Avernus. I will remind them that they're wardens. Men, I won't lie to you. The situation is grim. Our forces outnumbered, our bellies empty, and our hearts are sagging. But we are wardens! Darkspawn flee when they hear our horns. Archdemons die when they taste our blades. So are we to bend knee to a mere human despot? No! I, for one, will never give up! I, for one, will never surrender just to dance on Arlen's gallows. So I propose here and now, in these hallowed halls where generations of our brethren stood vigil against darkspawn and evil, that we send a message to that fat bastard. In this sacred place, proud men, strong men stood defiant, and would rather die than submit to tyranny.
So brave, even when starving, and my great-great-grandmother stood with them. Everyone knows they were banished, but to murder them like that... King Arlen must have been a monster. But I've gabbed enough. Lead on, my friend.
Make them pay for every inch, men! Hold the flank! Avernus, we need you!
Nelate Obrasoth Sifan Nit
Andraste's blood! What?
More Avernus! Whatever it takes! Press him! Press him now!
No! I command you, fight the king's men!
Fool! So much death, suffering, and oh yes, blood. The veil is torn now. Your soul is mine, Avernus.
Acolytes!
Retreat now! The battle is lost!
Avernus!
What just happened? Oh no, more fighting. The Warden summoned demons. Can't believe it. And my grandmother, she knew. I believed that my family was better than that. But answers may lay up ahead. My own grandmother consorted with demons. That's a hard one to accept.
Step no further, Warden. This one would speak with you. This one is the Dryden, Commander, Sophia. All these things.
Grandmother?
You have slain many of the demon ilk to get here. This one would propose a deal.
That, or she's really let herself go. My great-great-grandmother is dead. I don't know what that is.
This one has tasted her memories, seen her thoughts and hidden places. But she is food for this one. No more, no less. What is one woman-child compared to your might? Strike me down if my terms offend. A fool this one would be to betray the Warden. Fool!
I can't believe my great-great-grandmother was still alive. Well, sort of alive, sort of dead. I need a drink.
Very well.
I hear you. Don't disrupt my concentration. Even now, the demons seek to replenish their numbers. Are you to thank for this welcomed but temporary imbalance? Only just. I have only a short time left. Why are you here? What is your intent? To what questions, I wonder? Ask. The Chantry foolishly forbids blood magic, but there are so many secrets to uncover. As my body decayed, I found ways to extend it. But that can only go so far. What use would storytelling serve? The tyrant Arland is long dead, as is all our noble co-conspirators and the Grand Rebellion. Sophia's corpse may walk and talk, but she, too, is no more. He ruled with fear and poison, his treachery pit noble against noble in terrible battle. We thought him a monster. We gathered allies to rebel. But the toll of years has erased our failure, hasn't it? It seemed so pressing then, but the kingdom lives on. Too many mouths to quiet. Even sorcery can only go so far. So we met with Tyrn Kuzland. With him on our side, we had a chance of victory. Instead, the King's Guard ambushed us. Commander Dryden and I barely escaped. Is it? You lost many family members that day. I saw the Tiern's head on the meeting table, with an apple in its mouth. Arlen's butchers, no doubt, slaughtered enough Kuzlans to make them pliable. Perhaps, but it was survival. For months, I prepared the summoning circles, researched the darkest depths of the Fade. That moment was a triumph of demonic law. Dozens of demons, called by my hand. But with so many variables, I suppose, calculation errors were inevitable. Ugh. I was so close. From a warden, that means something. So tired, so old. Let me undo my greatest of mistakes. Let me cleanse this place. Then I will accept whatever justice you feel I merit. She gave the order. I would have summoned the demons anyway. Only under wardens can true magical research continue. A chance to rediscover the secrets of ancient Tevinter. Chantry lies told to subjugate the mages, to keep them docile. And how do you know they are right? Their faith would have you swallow a great deal for small comfort. Yes?
Master Mage, sir, my family name has been worth less than dirt for over a century. Do you have any proof that Sophia was a hero?
The boy who braved the mists. So you heeded my call. And you are a Dryden. The cosmos has a sense of humor. He was but a boy when he entered the tunnels below the peak. His heart pure, his character certain. In dreams, I gave him the keys he would need. He would be my deliverance. Your great-great-grandmother was the best of us. Brave, charismatic, fiery, utterly devoted to the fight. But still we lost. We fought against a tyrant, you know, so full of vigor then, so blind to consequence. But proof? There's none to be had.
I had hoped. But thank you, Warden.
To stop the demonic tide, to correct the miscalculations of the past. Blood magic comes from demons. They could counter every bit of law I knew. But the darkspawn taint, that is alien to them. And it has power. The Wardens use it merely to sense darkspawn. A triviality. My research has discovered so much more, hinted at even greater heights. This knowledge could not only save Soldier's Peak, with it the Wardens could grow even more powerful. It was necessary. It was vital. The few meager years of life they would have spent trapped in this tower were nothing compared to the greater goal. I gave their death meaning. Oh, search my labs. The answers are in there. Yes. So be it. My only request, if justice or vengeance drive you, stay your hand until the demons are dealt with. That will do for now. We must go to the Great Hall. There, I will repair the damage I caused so long ago. There will be peril. The demons will fight us every step of the way. Come. We must act quickly. The demons are clawing on the gates. The veil must be closed. I will unravel the summoning circles I drew so long ago. Waves of spirits and demons may come through. Dispatch them. I will begin. First, I must summon the magical energies. I feel them. They're coming. It's over. The veil is strong now. Stronger, at least. I said I'd submit to judgment. And so I shall. Can I be left to experiment in peace? With what time I have left, I will do this. It may take months or years for my research to reach fruition. When it does, I will send for you. Thank you for this, Warden.
You've done it, Warden. Soldier's Peak is safe again. That old geezer of Avernus deserves the gallows if you ask me, but people will do queer things to survive. But if he does the proper research, without the sacrifices and blood magic and all, maybe he'll turn up something good. But there was no proof to redeem my family. For so long, I was focused on the past, on answers. But I think I would have been better off had I stayed at home. Enough of that, though. I find myself at a loss. You've got a whole fortress now. I suppose I should start plying my trade again. I might use the peak as a base of operations. So many bandits about, but none would dare come here. Nice place to store trade goods. You, of course, will get a sizable discount.
Looks like we're done here. A demonic invasion thwarted, a warden base safely rescued. We do good work.
Once my family comes, I might have some merchandise you could buy. Might tidy the place up a bit, too. Well, my nephews will.